Hello, my name is Angie. I am a second year student at Cape Fear Community College. Do not mind my cat, he is fine. He's just very dramatic if you hear him in the background. I am a first generation student as well as a first generation Mexican American. I definitely think that my culture played a huge role into the person I am and how I perceive things, as well as my role in like my household. Being the oldest sibling, I definitely had a lot more responsibilities than my other sibling. They definitely got like the better end of it for sure. I had to grow up a little quicker. I was definitely given a lot more responsibilities. I wasn't given as much freedom, so I didn't really get to explore a lot of sides of myself the way my sibling did, or a lot of my peers did. Culture shock was very real growing up. When I first went to school, it was very different from what I was accustomed to at home. For example, like a lot of my friends from similar cultures or similar backgrounds, the one distinct memory that I do have would be how a lot of the times in Mexican culture, when a kid is having a birthday party, a lot of the times it's very normal for the parents to come as well, whereas I noticed growing up in American culture that's not as common. It's more common for just the parents to drop off their kids or like hang around but not really be as involved in what their kids are doing, depending on the age, of course. I'm talking like elementary to middle school age. So that was like something that definitely my parents didn't feel comfortable with me going out. They were like, you don't know them, we don't know them, we don't feel comfortable with you doing that. So I was definitely left out in a lot of things. I think that definitely helped me realize at a really young age that like, hey, everybody comes from a different background. Everybody's a little different. Everybody does things differently, but it's not wrong. Everybody just has their own way and preferences for doing things. And I definitely acknowledged that I was different from other kids, especially because I was going to a public school, but unfortunately there was not a lot of diversity where I was going. It was just me, my sibling, and two other kids, but they had been second or third generation. So we had a lot of similarities, but just different experiences growing up for sure. So I was never really able to relate to a lot of the kids that I was around. So it definitely took a toll on me. But I think it has helped me grow into a very career-oriented person. It has made me feel comfortable not being like, because a lot of people grow up and they belong to a specific community. I didn't really have that growing up, and I feel comfortable being by myself, but I also do like to be around other people and mingle and everything, just like every other human does. But it's definitely made me feel comfortable to be alone. Like, I don't feel like lonely. I don't feel like, oh, like I need a person. So that's definitely something that I've noticed that a lot of my peers around my age group can't really comprehend. I think another thing that definitely impacts the way I perceive things would be my personality type. I am an empath. I feel for others. If you are crying, I will cry with you. I will cry at all the sad dog commercials. I think those things definitely played a huge role in who I am. I am still growing, so I know as a human I will evolve. As in for people, I think the one thing that I really like is just how all of our upbringings really shape who we are as a person. Because I thought about it and I was like, well, if my parents hadn't immigrated from Mexico over to the United States, I would have been there and I would have been a whole other person, and I wonder how I would have been. This is a topic that I like to bring up pretty frequently in my friend groups, as they also come from different backgrounds, and we were just like, what if we were just in a whole other country? And I think that's a very interesting topic, which brings me to my next point. Let me pull out my notes so I am not incorrect. Peter Berger, 1963, The Sociological Perspective, seeing general patterns in the behavior of particular people. That is something that has always fascinated me. As I am older now, I've definitely had the luck of being able to reach out to people who have similar backgrounds as me, who grew up like me, or polar opposite as well. But we've had the discussions of like, oh, we relate to a lot of the issues that we deal with, and then we also relate to a lot of the ways we view things. For example, I often feel guilty about when for example, if, I don't feel well and choose to put an assignment on hold, I feel like I can't relax because in the back of my head, I feel so guilty that I'm not working hard enough, because I always bring up the example of like, my parents came to this country for you and you're slacking off because you don't feel well. Well, there have been multiple days where they don't feel well, but they still go to work. And that's just a guilt that I often carry on my back. And friends who with similar backgrounds share a similar experience to that. And I'm like, wow, that's so fascinating. I wonder why we feel so guilty. As in, for what I am hoping to see this semester, I hope I do well. I hope I finally get my associates in science so that I can transfer over to UNCW or another university. That's okay as well. I hope you all have a wonderful semester, wonderful year. Hope you are doing well. Remember to drink water. And I think that is it. Bye.